That may not look creative because we are really enigmatic, we are really hardworking, innovative, and we survive in any situation. And with Anambra, Nigeria will be greater.
Chiedu was going to follow up his initial question with another one, but I think it's very important to underline the fact that people are listening to you.
Yeah.
Some of them are of Anambra origin,
yeah, sure.
but might not have been there.
Yeah.
So you are exciting them to dream of going there.
Yeah, sure.
Then there are those who were born when things started getting bad.
Very bad.
And with what you are saying, you might spur them up to want to contribute to making things go back to what they used to be or even better.
Yeah.
So thank you for that great picture that you have painted. If you know where we are coming from, it helps us to see better where we are going to. All right.
Yeah, thank you. Anambra initially prided herself as the home for all. That motto was later changed to the Light of the Nation by Governor Peter Obi.
Governor Chris Ngige.
Chris Ngige. For good reasons. Good, I believe. But how much of that light shines today, especially given that agents of insecurity and criminality seem to be their home in the state?
Thank you so very much. You know, Anambra, the home of the Republic of Africa, Salui Sodumeku, Emeka Anyo, Chukwemeka Odumegwu, and so many other great men. The greatest computer scientist the world has ever produced, among others. Unfortunately, Anambra used to be the home for all during the time of this Fourth Republic. From 1999, there became political upheaval in Anambra State, occasioned by some godfathers trying to control the governor of the state, Chiedu Ude. And there was a political fight in Anambra. Then by 2003, the new government came in. Chris Ngige came in as governor of the state, around for 6 years, started for 3 years, before he was removed from court by Governor Peter Obi of Achiaga, my own party. Then, because you know, in those days, that 1999, 2003, 2007 was the inglorious days of democracy, election democracy in Nigeria, when you will see somebody will win an election and after we announce winner. And then a lot of manipulations, and that was actually how the issue of insecurity started creeping into our state. And then later, during the time of Ngige's government, we said the reason why Anambra was changed from home for all to Light of the Nation is that a home for all, a lot of people started now coming because it became free for everybody, can rise and a lot of all those things. So we said no. Yes, Anambra is still a home for all, but we are the light of Nigeria, the light of Africa. That we better start projecting this light so that and then continue the good works that Ngige was doing. In fact, between the time of Ngige and Peter Obi, Anambra had the best road networks in among the states in the whole country. And then, but there was still insecurity then, but that was criminals. Because as you know, wealth started growing, criminal elements started seeing wealth around Anambra, on each everywhere, and Anambra now became a concentration. But don't get that it was in Anambra also.
Actors and non-state actors. Please continue.
So now the state actors now join the non-state actors that were perpetrating the criminality there. And I must tell you that in the days of Ngige and Mbanojo, most of the criminalities and insecurity that started in Anambra has some political connotations. Because people that wanted to remove the governor by force or to cause a state of anarchy and for the state to be declared state of emergency in Anambra State took over. So, in as much as a lot of them seem to be non-state actors in operation, if you look deeply, you also see the hands of state in it. Then I was trade union leader. I was the trade union leader Convention of Igbo Students leader, Igbo Students President. I was national president, and among other letters, I was also in Ohanese Youth. We played very actively in combating the political, because the youth are the people that we are used in
perpetrating criminality.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we started campaigns, serious ones. That was why I should be so happy if Dr. Okey Okechukwu, because Okey Okechukwu with the team, Dr. Ike and team of other Anambra professionals, now so that Anambra will get on hand, and they set up, they call some of the leaders, and we sat together and set up what's called Anambra Rebirth.
Okay, Vanguard.
Anambra Rebirth.
Okay.
And Okey Okechukwu was the Secretary General of Anambra Rebirth. Then Dr. Ike was the chairman, general coordinator. I was the administrative secretary of Anambra Rebirth. To now start bringing the sky cycle of the mind and the minds of our people back to who we are and who we are, where we are coming from and where we should be going. Because most times when this issue of the youth is the copy. So when I start bringing back the great models Anambra had as an icon that the youth will look upon, and we started doing that, and they restored back the state of affairs in Anambra. By the time Peter came into his second tenure, Anambra has started stabilizing back to peace, progress, and development, until the advent, the thing that happened before the 2015 general election, and then the issue of the very obvious marginalization of Igbo people within the Nigerian political settings, and all that. The youth under the Pro-African agreement said, whereby Nigerian state have felt and refused to make us have a sense of belonging in Nigeria. After the civil war, two nations that were final affairs, the government people who the more £20, and then we could not even buy stick. We are skimmed more out of the system, and this continued gradually. We were denied from holding certain posts. In fact, there are iron ceilings where Igbos and Anambra could ever reach, despite our capacities, tendencies. If you put everything in Nigeria by merit, Anambra will populate most of it, most of the offices, because we believe in merit. Our people work so hard. I tell you, our people work so hard to live, and we are ready, and our youth are also ready to do that. But by the time the Nigerian state started giving us cold shoulders, our young people started feeling they were not welcome in Nigeria, and they started degenerating into financing and the struggle from MASOB to IPOB with ESN, and now criminal elements came in the name of unknown gunmen. And
on God no man.
On God no man, whatever they call themselves. So now
I should highlight one very important thing you mentioned, which is your mention of the kidnapping of one of the governors. You know why that's important?
Yeah.
Before your arrival in the studio, we had listeners call in to give us a taste of their mind as regards the insecurity situation in Anambra State. And more than two, he goes ahead working hard to bring people identified as being responsible for different kinds of insecurity in the state, like IPOP, to the table to negotiate with them as he engages with Mieti Allah there and other agents. He should watch those he is working with within his administration, which means Anambra State has quite some history of state actors propelling non-state actors to sabotage the sitting government, isn't it?
You are quite right, and I totally agree with that, including agreeing with the advice of the courts. Now, Governor Soludo, Professor Charles Soludo, or we call him Mr. Governor, or Charlie Wamba, as he loves to be called. It's not only Anambrans, the whole Igbos, the whole Nigerians, and the world look up to give light, to shine light,
More light.
more light in the dark areas of Nigeria. Because now so many bad news come out of Nigeria. Nigeria has become an Islamist state. Now, even in fact, it's getting worse than the state it was. In fact, Nigeria presently is worse than the state it was during the Nigerian Biafran War. Because Nigerian Biafran War was concentrated only within the east. Now it's everywhere in the country. Now, Prophet Charles Soludo came in as a governor. Now people want to support him, to vote for him, to vote for Abga, because we believe that this is our own identity. That we need to have a sense of belonging. And he is a symbol of the hope of our people to become Nigeria. And Soludo promised our people to provide a model state from where other Nigerians and Africans can copy. To make Anambra State a kind of the combination of the economic, social development of Dubai and Taiwan models, and with our native Anambra man's model, then you get one of the best socio-economic and political development model you can ever have. And that's what he promised, and that's what we believe in, and what we're going to do. But unfortunately, he came to governance at a time that things were in a serious situation. The rate of armed robbery, kidnapping, murder, assassinations is actually getting out of hand. Not yet got out of hand. In my town, Ojoto, from January to now, there have been more than 12 kidnapping cases, out of which about 4 have been brutally murdered. And my town is in fact, the youth have risen to the challenge now to take over the streets of our place, because the DSS and security agents cannot do anything. And in course of the youth doing that, the kidnapping syndicate was busted by the youth. I know what? By the time they go, they dealt with them through their confessions. And then started going through their phones. They discovered protection around them. My cousin, they kidnapped my cousin, and some young guys that are doing well in that place. One of them was kidnapped, and I'll tell you, I said different kidnappers, but I'll tell you without missing word. They paid 15 million for him to be released. Second 30 million. Because these young men working so hard on their own, and the state cannot protect them. When people not to pay, and some way want them to be killed. Now, the state turned that certain parts of Nigeria, of Anambra State, is turning to what Zambia Forest had become, or Afara area. Like Ihara, New South area, Ihara, Lilu, Ubo, and then some other Okija areas and the embassy. Now coming down towards now Newi, Amici, Oketiti, no. Now, it's because of this, but we're during the election time, because some of this insecurity, I still maintain it, has their origin in political motivation. And people using some state action and element to give a dog a bad name in order to hang it. And that's why we've been calling our people. Our people used to say it in Igbo, I'll translate. Remove the hand of the monkey from the pot of soup before it turned to human hand. What I'm saying in effect is that from every indication, some of the unknown government have been captured. Some of them have been captured, or they have been killed. It was on press at that time that some of them were security operative. Those unknown government that were operating there, some say they are IPOB, ASM, and all the BFI agitators. Majority of them that have been captured are from the northern part of Nigeria, and majority of them, I don't want to mention ethnic, where they come from, but from the far north. And Governor Uzodinma had come out openly as a governor. You know, initially he was accusing the IPOB to say that more than 80% of those that were captured were from the north and some non-Nigerians from the northern part of Africa. And from the effort that had been made by Governor Chiedu Ude in Anambra State, majority of those that have been captured, 85% of them are not from Anambra. Majority of them from some of them from neighboring states, and many others from the north.
I remember there were mention was made of people coming through Ebonyi State.
And then through Ebonyi, and then from Imo, and from across the Niger, from Kogi.
The crisscross.
Yes. Now, they have occupied most of the forests we have. Like last 2 weeks, my lawyer, Barrister Agrika, was kidnapped. He was coming for a case from Ahaba to Oka. Along Okigwe Road, as you are moving towards Okigwe, that Isikuato Junction area, you know, that's big forest there, he was kidnapped. And they took him and they trained for about 8 hours, long kilometer of roads. And by the time, from the report he gave us, Oga, I will say it openly, we paid heavily for him to be released. Now, from what he experienced, is not they are not Igbos from a particular area. And a few of them, he said, are trained professional security operatives. They moved him, and by that they moved him along the forest for about 8 hours, 4 hours, and others. He saw there were pathways. There were even settlements inside the thick forest where these kidnappers kill their people. And we have the Nigerian security operatives that have their sophisticated security equipment that can survey and can track. Do you know we are tracking the people? They were talking with us on the same phone until we give them the money. They just said the police and others were part of this operation. And nobody was arrested, and they took the money and left. The millions are left till today.
The story you are sharing is commonplace.
So
Many
now,
people who come back from kidnapping, they speak of camps, they speak of leadership hierarchy. They speak of delivery systems for food, for weapons, for materials, and all kinds of things.
And I told you, by the time they operate,
and even help of protecting the nation, asking them it's better to.
Yeah, I must say, you see that most of those that happen in our state, in Anambra, you see some of those people, they will operate. The whole security that used to be in their checkpoints will all not be found until after the operation. They start coming around certain way. So now the state of insecurity, like we mentioned about the issue of kidnapping of the governor, everybody knows it was a pure state action that was placed. I was training on that day when it happened, and that was 2005. He was sharp enough to trick them to take him to Trust Hotel, close to my hostel. And I realized more than 2,000 students and locked up the hotel. They couldn't move out. That was how he was saved. And the rest is story, everybody knows it. What we're saying now is that the insecurity of Anambra State from every day, they also want to point out something. People used to be, it's IPOB, ESN. I want to ask, I'm not as non-Nigerians. Those people from Niger and Chad are the part of IPOB, ESN.
It's a good question.
In concluding this aspect of it, I
don't want you to conclude. I want you to say more, which is why I'm bringing you to the next question, really, because there is no need to conclude now. Say more. IPO,
yeah.
You have on the question I was going to raise, because Nigeria. Yet sometimes when crime takes place in Anambra and some parts of the southeast, it is generally said IPOB, ESN, and all what not. So tell us, is IPOB?
Indigenous people of Biafra. Mean to that nation state that geopolitical region. Now, IPOB is indigenous people of Biafra, meaning all the a union of that are living within that geographical expression that are no longer comfortable